Well, welcome back to another video here on Union Josh Yu-Gi-Oh! Today we're going to be looking at my White Forest deck profile. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to this new sort of White Forest Azamina Fiendsmith deck profile. This is what we're going to be looking at here today. After the Supreme Darkness release, this is what I'm currently running. Though I'm very much open to any messages in the comments or over on Instagram about updates or things that you think would work better in the deck. Do give me a shout over on Union Josh Yu-Gi-Oh! On Instagram. I'll be more than happy to have a chat with you. But this is what we're running with. So let's start off with the main deck and we'll go through from there. So starting off, playing the one Estella. Bit of a shame that this one has sort of fallen off in sort of viability during the recent update. But still running one Estella, still a lovely card. Still making use of some of the other abilities of this deck. But yeah, this one is not as much of a starter as it used to be. It's not as much as the mainstay as it was. But the one that is the mainstay is the Triple LZ. Yes, 3LZ, the one that has been running rampant in the runic profiles, is the mainstay of the new Azamina White Forest Fiendsmith build that I'm running. Of course, we've got to have 3 of these. Got to make sure that they're always sort of we're searching it off of different things. We're popping the back rows and getting the stuff that we need to. But this is all sort of fairly standard stuff so far. But the new stay out of Supreme Darkness is the 2 new LZ, the LZ Azamina of the White Forest. So we're playing 2 of these, not 1, not 3. Thought 1 was a few too little. I know we can search this, and we do search this, but to be able to have that second one, if the first one's negated, is really good and really helpful to have. And it's also something to get back out of the graveyard when we do some plays later on. But yes, continuing our White Forest is Triple Sylvie. Man, I hope this thing gets a rarity bump, because playing it as common kills. We want to have a max rarity version of this deck, and to have it in common is, yeah, just a little stinky. So hopefully we get sort of the reprint, an ultra or a secret will be really nice to fit in with the deck. But Triple Sylvie and 1 Rushia. Hope this one gets a rarity bump as well. So those are the main White Forest cards that we're playing, the main monsters of the White Forest that we're playing. Let's move on to the spells that we're playing and traps that we're playing under this this banner. We've got the One Tails, really surprisingly useful now. This one I didn't used to run in the cash tier version of the deck because I just didn't think it was as necessary, but now we are using this to search out our LZ. We are using this off of Sylvie to search the new LZ, which is really helpful. So playing 1 Tails, 1 Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. Nice that we kind of got this quick play. Really looking forward to all that new White Forest support, sort of like the field spell, the level 4 synchro. We're really looking forward to that. And the final sort of spell or trap card is this one, Azamina Fiendsmith, whatever it's called. I'm not entirely sure, but we play this as a one-of. Haven't really come across too many interactions with it at the moment. But it is nice to search because it's always treated as a White Forest card. So this has kind of replaced Woes that I took out of the deck for Ace. So that's the White Forest portion of the deck done. Let's move on to the Azamina part of it. Now for this, we're going to be playing 2 Diabell Stars. I love these recent pickups, actually, the ulties from OTS pack 26. Really nice. But yeah, playing 2 of these. Some people have been playing this at 1. I'm just not sure if that's enough. It's always good to kind of be able to search into our Sinful Spoils cards, and that's what we play. We play 3 of the Wanteds to be able to search the Diabell Star if we need it. The interesting interaction I'll tell you in a minute is quite interesting. But yeah, we want 3 of those. We've got 1 Deception, 1 Hallowed, and then we play 1 Queen of the Azamina. Now the interesting interaction is, if you wanted, you cannot get Queen Azamina's effect by using Diabellstar. So if you wanted to summon Diabellstar, you special summon this by sending one card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Because it's not an activated effect, Queen Azamina doesn't go off. So if you're in that situation and you're thinking, Brill, I can pitch Queen Azamina, get Diabellstar, get Queen Azamina back. It doesn't, that's not how that works. So it has to be an activated on-field effect for Queen Azamina to get that that comeback. So that's just an interesting interaction that I've recently discovered while playing this deck. So do watch out for that as well if you're playing this build. But that's our Sinful Spoils package. Let's move on to the Fiendsmith portion of the deck. Now the Fiendsmith one, now there's a card in here that I might get a bit of flack for, but we are playing Triple Engraver. Just a solid and reliable mainstay in the engine. Here we go. My Lacrima is currently on its way here, but I wanted to get this profile out as quickly as possible, so you've got to make do with this thing. But Lacrima is in there. I actually ended up selling my my first Lacrima that I pulled because I wasn't really planning on playing Fiendsmith, but now that it's actually really quite viable in this deck, I'm having to buy it back. So Lacrima arrives Monday. So I will have it. I'm not running this paper copy. Of course, then we've got a Fabled, then we've got a Tract and Paradise. See, Paradise was something I wasn't really tipped on to be playing. I was really playing Tract when I was playing the Fiendsmith engine, but actually the Fiendsmith and Paradise is really good to be able to get a board wipe if you've got a level 7 or higher Fiendsmith on the field. So we will get, I don't know, we get what's his name, Desiree. We can stick a Desiree on the field or something, and then you play this, and it gets rid of everything. It would get rid of the, I'm pretty sure it gets rid of the link. Yeah, it would. But it is just such an interesting board wipe. But we're not really using it. I haven't really been using it as much for the board wipe. I've been using it for its secondary effect, because it's an interesting card you can just pitch off of something. If you wanted to use it, you could use... yeah, you can pitch it off of Diabellstar, pitch Fiendsmith in Paradise, and then later when you have that, you're able to send another Fiendsmith to the graveyard to extend those plays, which is really interesting and really good, a really sort of fun technique. So that's sort of the Fiendsmith package that we're playing as well. Very standard, you probably know most of those cards anyway. Now, sort of the part of the deck that I'm still clinging on to because I love it is the toy engine. Now, I know most people have sort of got rid of the toy engine in favour of sort of some of the other hand traps or stuff, or just different engines, but I'm still really a big fan of the toys. I really enjoy playing with them and doing a few sort of test games and test hands and being able to use the toy box to extend and end up in some really, really fun plays, because even if you fire a toy box and you get these two, and then you're able to LZ or... I don't know, Diabellstar or something, get rid of these two from the field. That's an instant moon, and you're straight into your Fiendsmith. So I'm still really enjoying this. Also, just the toy box gag of if you've got a set card and you've got toy box, you pop and they attack, you pop the face down and destroy their attacking monster like once per turn. But that is just sort of the niche interactions that you get with Toy Box Engine. So I'm still enjoying playing the Toy Box Engine. I really am. That's an opportunity to show off the new field center that we got, courtesy of TSX1.com. No, whatever the Team Samurai is. Not a paid promotion, but just really enjoyed. They had a sort of a Christmas deal on, so you could get like a few of the toy stuff, and I was a real big toy fan, so I really enjoy those cards. So we got a new field center. Right, we're done with sort of engines. We're now on to sort of the miscellaneous, the rest of the cards in the deck. So for board breakers, we've got Triple Dark Ruler. Triple Dark Ruler, we just blind second. This is always a mainstay in the deck. I started playing without it, and I just felt that it was harder to do what you wanted to do if you ended up going second, and just to have that as that go-to, and if not, and if you're going first, you've got perfect pitch fodder for your Azaminas, your White Forest, your Diabellstar. You get rid of this if you don't need it, but it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So I play Triple Dark Rulers, and yeah, a little bit about me. My favourite rarity at the moment is the Collector's Rare. Like I really do enjoy sort of, yeah, I don't know if you can see it as well, maybe I'll get it out the sleeve. But yeah, I really am enjoying sort of the rarity collection. This was rarity 1, so the collector's rare isn't as nice on these ones as it is on other cards. But I'm a real big the collector rare fan at the moment. So I'm trying to get as many of my cards as I can in sort of collector's rare or the max rarity. Up next, I'm only playing 2, but Talents. Triple Tactics Talent, just a great card. If they hand trap you and you've got this in your hand, that's either I look at their hand, get rid of something, a play that they're going to make later, or it's 2. And sometimes you do just need that draw power, just that get 2 into your hands. Either you're drawing into Azamina, White Forest stuff, or you're getting that Diabell Star, the Sinful Spoils cards that you can just pop down for free because, I don't know, they ashed or they Ghost Ogred you or Lanced you somewhere. I don't know why they'd Lance you this deck, but if they did, then you've got sort of this interaction as well. But only playing it at 2. I did play it at 3 and it clogged up just a little bit. Like there were instances where I just didn't need it, and so I felt like 2 is where it's at. Yeah, so and now onto sort of hand traps. Those are sort of the spells and almost board breakers if you like, but sort of hand traps, I'm playing triple Ash and triple Imperm, and that is I believe it's 43 cards, the 43 card deck. Of course, we've got the sort of the stuff to stop things going off, and the beauty of Imperm is that if we don't need it, and we absolutely don't need it, we can get rid of it off of a White Forest, and then if we do need it back, well then we get it off Diabell, and Diabell gets us a spell or trap back from the grave. So if we use it as part of the play and we need it back for, I don't know, if we're going first and we pitch an Imperm going first, then we want to be able to get it back with the Diabell. So you can pitch it, and then Diabell, you've got Rushia, and you've got Reclaya, and you've got LZ on your field. Make an 8 with them, and you get Imperm back, which is just great fun because it means that you're not going minus on your resources. So that's the main deck sorted. 43 card main deck done. Let's move into the rest of it, and I'm going to try and do this in order of how I want to do it. So we're going to do with the White Forest first. So we've got Reclaya, or however you pronounce it, Silvera and Diabell. My QCR Silvera is on its way from the States. It was the only place I could get a QCR Silvera. No one at Locals had one that was willing to sell. There was none on UK eBay. Had to get it shipped from the States, so it should be here by the end of the month. So if the deck profile changes, you should see that nice and shiny. And final synchro, 1 Chaos Angel. Really easy to make this Chaos Angel. There are a few interactions I'll show you where we can get to this Chaos Angel, which is just great because you can get to it through so many different ways. So that's the synchro package. Let's move on to the Azamina portion. For the Azamina, we're playing for the Azamina. We've got the Sylvia. I'm not going to be able to pronounce them, so forgive me. We got these ones, and then Saint Azamina. These are the ones that I'm playing. You could play the Sol one, which gets you a send from deck to grave. No, send from field to grave, sorry. Non-targeting destruction. But I'm playing these ones at the moment. That might tag back in, but I'm getting more use out of these ones, really. And Saint is just like doing absolute bits at the moment. Like, yeah, your opponent cannot target cards in the graveyard or banishment or this card on the field with card effects. Like, that is insane. Field, grave, banishment, all this card with card effects. That is quite a lot of what the decks at the moment are doing. So to get Saint on the board early doors is you get Saint on, and then normally you haven't summoned this one. So you summon that one from your extra deck, and you use effective Regina to get either, if you've used one of these two before, you just get this one or this one out of the grave for free. And then if you've got this one out for free, either of these ones out for free, and you've got a Sylvie, or Rushia in grave, then that's an instant. That's a 6 and for a 10. That's a light and dark Chaos Angel right there. So that's like in your end board is looking pretty tasty, because if you've got all the Fiendsmith stuff as well, like you've got these two, you've got these 3 cards. If you play this on turn 2, you're banishing something from your opponent's field, and then you've also got, I don't know, Desiree or Rextramede on your field that also cannot be targeted or is negating effects. It's quite a powerful end board, I found. So those are the ones that we're playing for the Azamina stuff. That's what we've got. I'll show you the rest of the extra deck, because the rest of it is mostly Fiendsmith with two sort of outliers. So Fiendsmith, 1 Moon, 1 Requiem sequence, Desiree, and the new one, Rex Tremendi, whatever that is. This card, personally, I just really like the artwork. I really like how it looks. It's really nice. I've also got a QCR of this popping in. That should be here Monday as well, actually. A QCR one of this, because it just looks so good. And it's actually not that expensive. Surprisingly, lots of the QCRs out of Supreme Darkness are dropping in price. So I picked one up because it's like, I don't know, 35, I think is what I ended up paying for it. So it's not bad at all for a QCR. But this is the what do you call it? The Fiendsmith package. I wasn't playing Moon. This was an SP. Now, I want to hear your guys' opinion, because I was playing SP instead of this, but I've actually found the utility out of Moon is a lot easier and a lot better to get off. And there's very few situations in this deck where I'm finding myself having to end on an SP instead of using Sequence or Requiem, or landing on something bigger than just an SP and maybe a few other things. But actually, because Moon just gets you into the whole Fiendsmith package. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. You go Desiree with Sequence, and then if you want to make Rex, then you use Tract Engrave. If you've got let's just put the board up. So you've got that, and then you've made your Desiree, but before you attach, you banish Tract to fuse these two for Rex Tremend, and well, however you pronounce it. But if you're doing this on turn 2, you also get Desiree's effect. So you get to send a Fiendsmith from extra deck or deck to the graveyard. So you could send, I don't know, your Lacrima or your Engraver to the grave. But you're also getting Fiendsmith by sending Sequence back. You get to then pop a card on the field because Desiree's gone, which I found is actually just quite entertaining. And I know lots of people will try and keep Desiree around as long as possible, but there are a couple of games where I've actually comboed off where you finish on this. So you end up with Rex Tremend, a Desiree equipped with Sequence. If you play it right and you get the right stuff back to the extra deck, you finish with both of them, and which is just amazing, really, because you've got the unaffected while it's equipped. So if you've got your Requiem, then you've got that equipped, and then you've got your Sequence equipped to your Desiree, and then you've got your other 3. So yeah, there was a game I played fairly recently where the end board was this. That's what I finished on. Like, I think maybe he was up in the extra monster zone, but like this was what I finished on. Now that's not a bad end board in my personal opinion. That's a cracking end board if ever I saw one. So yeah, do experiment. Do give it a chance with the new Azamina support. Not Azamina, Fiendsmith support. Sorry, because it is just a lot of fun, and you can finish with both of these if you play it right. And hopefully in the future I'll be able to find the time to do actual combos and stuff. Now the final 2 cards from the extra deck are quite interesting. Both of them came out of Supreme Darkness. We've got Bao, the level 4 Link Force, Link monster using a Fiend. So that if you want to, you can go into this with your Fiendsmith stuff. And the final one is Magistus Chorozo. This card is also an easy way into your Chaos Angel, because you can, if you have a Silvera, and let's do it with this one. If you have this one on board, and you have this one on board as well, you're able to. That again is a 10 Chaos Angel, because this is also a tuner. So you can do both of those, or if you've got this and you've got a White Forest, let's say you've got Silvera on the board, that's also a light and dark Chaos Angel. But Magistus Chorozo just has a really cool and interesting effect. I'm really enjoying actually not even making the Chaos Angel with it straight away, because you can just use its effect on your opponent's turn to stop an attack. It gains attack, and then you can return that monster to the hand. Like, if they attack into this, you can use its effect. It gains the attack, and you negate it. And then in the end phase, you return that card to the hand, which is Not bad, not bad. So that's the extra deck, and we'll take a quick look at the side deck before we sign off. Now the side deck is where the most, I don't know, the most amount of changes could come. I could see happening. So we are playing the Bestial package of 1 Jurisworm, 1 Mag, and 1 Bulldrake. Bulldrake is just the under the radar spec option at the moment. No one's really talking about Bulldrake, and when you've got him on field, he's actually quite annoying to deal with, especially if you've got him off of if you've got him off Mag and you've gone into Bulldrake. Really annoying, really disruptive to other Fiendsmith players, which is always a joy. Really, really bad against Malice. Don't play these against Malice. That's why they're not in the main deck, because Malice is such a threat at the moment. I'm not playing them in the main because you're just helping them out. You're just banishing their Malice stuff for them. So don't play these if you're playing against Malice. But do play these ones if you're playing Malice. The triple Lancia. Of course, everyone knows this is a great card at the moment, being able to stopping people from being able to banish for the turn. So Lancia, obviously, a really good chance. Then we're playing double Lightning Storm and a Harpies. This is just for back row heavy decks. There's been a couple of just rogue things I've come up against at locals where they've just had loads of back row, and this deck doesn't have the best way to deal with back row. It's great at sort of monster negates and getting rid of stuff, but it doesn't do as well with back row. So we do need a few options in the side to be able to help deal with that. We are playing triple Purge as well, but this is only in the side because we use quite a few dark monsters. If I do need to side this in, I will normally take out either an Imperm or an Ash or something, or take out the Toy Engine and bring this in because it's just such a powerful card. And most players are playing Impulse, but we use Light all the time, so we cannot play Impulse. So Purge is the one that I use the most if I'm going to side something in. And then finally playing 3 Solemn Judgments. 3 Solemn Judgments, just if there's something I just cannot deal with, this deck just cannot deal with, then you drop a Solemn in there and boom, they're not doing it anymore. You're paying half your life points, which is quite a cost, but in this modern day and age, it's not too bad actually. Games are quite quick, so taking half your life points doesn't really do too much damage to you. So that was the White Forest Azamina Fiendsmith deck profile as of January 2025. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do let me know down below if you want to see more of these, more deck profiles. I'm hoping on building and completing the Synchron deck and getting some more stuff out of that, because that's my passion project. I'm going to try and make it as good as I can. So thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Take care and peace.